Hey, guys, it's me. And in the 5th day, we're going to read about the Tower of Babel. This is day 5 of our Bible in 66-day study. If you haven't already, go ahead and grab your journal and your highlighters. We're going to read Genesis chapter 11, verses 1 through 9. All the people on earth were grouped together in one place, and everyone was speaking the same language. And they said, "Hey, let's make a name for ourselves. Let's build a tower whose top reaches into the heavens. Then we'll be like God, moving back and forth on the earth and separating people and nations." So they began to build the tower. But soon they had used up all the available materials. And the supervisor came down from the tower to tell the people, "Hey, we need more building materials if we're going to finish this thing. Please bring more mortars, bricks, and stones." But the people were not willing to work for food. They wanted to get drunk instead. So everyone did whatever they wanted. That's kind of silly, right? They stopped working together and they started partying instead. And then God came down to see the tower that the people had built, and he saw how proud they were. He looked down at them and was displeased because they had acted like God. Their plan was to reach into heaven without him. So God decided to confuse their language so they wouldn't understand each other. And this is how it happened. The Lord scattered the people over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That's why it's called the Tower of Babel, because their people were confused and no longer understood each other. And this is where the many languages of the world originated. So let's take a moment to highlight some important things in this passage. First, before the flood, most people lived in one area. And after the flood, they were scattered over the whole earth. What caused that change? Well, we're going to highlight that in verse 4. They said, "Hey, let's make a name for ourselves." These people were trying to make a name for themselves. They didn't want to live under the name of God. They wanted their own name. So they're building this tower for themselves. They're making this tower the God of their lives. And they, Said, will be like God moving to and fro in the earth. They were elevating themselves above God. They weren't happy just being human. They wanted to be like God. So God said, "Wait a minute. I'm God. I'm supposed to be the only one who has that kind of power. I'm the only one who gets to be like God." So then God did something really amazing. He confused their language. Now, one of my favorite things in the Bible is that God doesn't just tell these people, "Stop building the tower," or "I'm gonna destroy the tower." He doesn't use his power to just bully them. Instead, he gives them a gentle reminder. He reminds them that he is God. He confuses their language. And I love that. He loves the people enough that he doesn't just punish them, but he corrects them. He lets them know, "Hey, I am God, and I want you to follow me. And I want you to trust me, and I want you to listen to me." Let's take a moment to think about the lesson for today. What do we learn from the Tower of Babel? Well, we learn that God doesn't want us to be proud. He doesn't want us to try to be like God. And this story teaches us to be humble. It also teaches us that God has a plan for the nations of the world, a plan for the world languages, and even a plan for our own life. Sometimes when we don't like God's plan, we try to change things. Maybe we want to change our circumstances, or maybe we want to change someone else. But God's word tells us that we can't change anything unless God says we can. He's the only one who can change the course of history. He is the only one who can change the course of a nation or the course of our life, and he will never allow anyone to change his plan. Okay? Now I want you to write out your own personal plan. Write down 3 things that you're going to do this week to follow God's plan for your life. Write down 3 things that you're going to do this week to remind yourself that God is God and you are not. You don't have to have everything all figured out, but write down 3 things that you can do this week to follow God's plan for your life. Guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this study of the Tower of Babel. It's me, and until next time, God bless you, and remember, you are awesome in the eyes of God. That is the end of Lesson 5. Next time, we will learn about God calls Abraham. Thanks for watching, kids. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Hit the like button and ring the bell to get more fun Bible stories every day. See you next time.